Hi, this is Chapter 9, Training Assignment. We're on the second movie, which is starting at step number 6. So let's take a second to read this. Change the default value of the date joined field to the formula equal date parentheses. So what we're doing there is we are trying to put today's date in the date joined. So let's find date joined. I'm staying here in this property sheet, and we're still looking at default value. So I'm still looking at that property, but now I'm just going to type equal date open close parentheses. So that will find the system date and put any new fields entered would just pick up the system date, and you would not have to enter anything there. All right, so we have that part done. So that's kind of cool, helping our users out. They don't have to enter the date, it just picks that date. Change the default value of date renewal to the formula date add year, which means we're going to use it in the whole year, 1 to date joined. So what we're saying here is take today's date joined, and then we're looking at adding a year, 1 year. So here's what, we're not adding days, we're not adding months, we're adding a year, and we're adding 1 year. So that would automatically calculate when this member would need to renew. So we're going to click on renewal date, default value. We're going to just put that formula in. So equal date add, parentheses. We're saying we're talking about years here. So we do the Y, comma. 1 is what we want to add. So look right here, interval. So that's what we're talking about in terms of this number. This is the number, how many we want to add to it. So let's say they renew every 2 years, you'd put a 2. If it was 3, 3. And then comma, and then what is the field or the date that we're going to use? Well, it is date joined, right? This date joined. So I have to put it, it's a field, so I'm putting it in square brackets, date joined. And then you can see the little IntelliSense comes up, and I can just, it's on date joined. So if you can see me, I'm hitting my tab key and it fills it back in. I just need to end my parentheses, right? Because I have an open, I need to have a close. So remember, square brackets go around fields or parameters. Parentheses are always needed for functions. All right, so we're done with step 6 now. So that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to close up this property sheet for a minute. And it says, click the background of the form. In the property sheet pane and on the Format tab, change the background color to white, background 1 darker 15%. Okay, so I closed that up for a minute because I wanted to show you now my orange box is not around a field, but it's really around the this section of my form. So I'm going to come up to property sheet, and look, it says I have selected the detail part, right? And I believe that's what I want. So I have selected, it's told me now, notice there's no data. We were still on the data tab. There's no data because it's just the box, the form itself. So we want to go to Format, and it gives us a little hint here, Format tab. Change the background color. So I'm going to come down, here's background. Right now it says back 1. So we're going to click that, down arrow, and find where it says, what does it say? I'm going to do the ellipsis, sorry. Not the down arrow, ellipsis. White background 1, so we're over here. Darker 15%, that's 5, 15. So there's that. So it's kind of a light gray. Cool, that works. All right, so we have this part done, guys. All right, click the member field value. So that's this part, right? Not the label. Change the special effects to sunken. All right, so let's just stop there and try and do that. So I'm on here, I'm still on my property, but now I'm on a text box and I have member ID selected. So you can always validate you're working on the right thing. We're dealing with how it's looking, so we're coming here to format, and it wants us to do special effect. So we just got to come down here and find special effect, and right now it's set to flat. So I'm going to click on it, click the down arrow, and they want us to do sunken, so I'm going to click on sunken. So I have that part done. Now I want to change the background color to white, background 1 darker 15%. So background color, right there, click on it, ellipse, it's this one right here, darker 15%. Okay, so it kind of matches the background. All right, so we got that part done. Click the member name field value, member name, boom, and change the special effects to sunken in the background color. So we're going to do the same process to this, and what we're looking forward to, guys, is this field and this field are not fields that can be changed, right? Because this is an auto number, and then this is a calculation where you can concatenate first name and last name. So neither of these fields are something that the user can enter. So we're showing that through a difference in how it looks. So we're going to come up here and pick special effect, change it from flat to sunken, come up here to background color, ellipses, and we're going to do the same one. Background 1, white, background 1, darker 15. So now these two are set apart from the other ones to let everybody know that there's something different about those. All right, click the date join field. So date joined. In the property sheet pane, format tab, okay, and we've got date joined, the text box. Delete the input mask. So let's find where it says input mask. And I'm not seeing it. So date joined. Okay, so I think this directions here are incorrect because input mask is not on the format tab. So go over to data for me. There's our input mask, right? So this is bad. It should say data tab. And we want that to be nothing, right? Delete the input mask. So we're going to come here and just hit delete. And we're good. Okay. So I think we have this one done. Close that. And I think I'm going to stop the movie at that point. So I'm going to just close that. And then I'm going to save this. Close this and save it. And I'm just going to switch over to design view. I'm sorry, into record view. So you can kind of see how this is working visually, but we still have work to do because I can still get to those fields. But that'll be on our next one. All right, thanks.